Silent Hill, what an underrated game of 2025. It isn't just a horror game. In fact, I regard it more as a movie than a video game. I think the intro really makes it feel like more of a movie, a kind of love letter to Japanese horror or drama or thrillers. But under the surface, you have this amazing story about societal pressures that face women in Japan, not only in the 60s, which is when this game is based, and it makes a very clear point of raising that with the player at the start, but it still faces women today, and is a big reason behind a lot of the issues Japan is facing right now with terribly low birth rates and an aging society. In a video game landscape often dominated by spectacle and power fantasies, Silent Hill F stands out for choosing something far more unsettling, an honest exploration of the emotional weight carried by young women in Japanese society. Silent Hill F tells the story of a young woman navigating a world that mirrors her own fears and insecurities. The game explores themes that are deeply rooted in Japanese culture: losing independence, balancing obligation to parents, the weight of friendship, and the subtle but persistent pressure to be everything to everyone at all times. Japanese society often places immense importance on familial duty. For women, there's an expectation to honour parents, care for siblings, and maintain harmony within the household. And Silent Hill F doesn't shy away from showing how overwhelming this can feel. The protagonist's struggle is relatable, not because she's fighting monsters alone, but because she's fighting the societal expectations that shape her life. And we all face this in many different guises. I mean, just because it's a girl facing societal pressure about marriage or independence doesn't mean you can't relate to it. We all have these pressures on us, whether it's a man, woman, however old you are. Different pressures come in different parts of your life. And in that way, Silent Hill F is deeply relatable. The game also captures the inner conflict of friendships and social obligation. There's this delicate dance of wanting to be loyal, supportive to your friends, while also preserving your own needs and desires. Silent Hill F examines how jealousy, unspoken resentment, and self-imposed perfectionism can quietly corrode relationships. And yet, these are challenges that don't often get attention in the medium of gaming. And I think that is what makes Silent Hill a special game and an extremely, extremely brave game. It's how it turns horror into a metaphor for these societal pressures that really makes it fascinating. If you look carefully at the monsters in Silent Hill F, they're manifestations of guilt, fear, and impossible standards placed on women. Walking through the foggy streets, the player isn't just scared of what's around the corner, they're invited to reflect on the real-world fears that many women silently carry. In a medium that quite frankly is dominated by fantastical plots or simple entertainment, Silent Hill F dares to be serious, to be reflective, and to be empathetic. It respects the player, it respects its audience enough to ask them to think, not just about the horror on the screen, but the societal norms behind it. The societal norms that shape the monsters that are being created in this young girl's world. By doing so, it opens a rare space for dialogue about female roles in Japanese society, the invisible emotional labour, and the constant balancing act of personal desire and cultural duty. And Silent Hill really reminds us that horror doesn't have to be about jump scares or gore. It can be about confronting the fears you face, the fears of the past, the present, and the future. The fears rooted in the world we live in, and in that sense, it's not just a game, it's a brave, mature reflection on life as a woman in Japan. And really, Silent Hill F left me with the lesson, I guess, that the scariest monsters are the ones we never speak of, the ones we create in our own head, and the ones we battle every single day. Silent Hill F dares to give those monsters a voice, and for that, I think is utterly fantastic. Yes, it may have gaps or gripes with its gameplay, and you may find it, gameplay wise, you may say video games, it has some flaws. Okay, fair. But for me, everything else more than makes up for it. For me, it's a must play. You have to experience something like this. Bravo to the developers here for, first of all, daring to make a game like this. And I can imagine the producer must have pitched this and thought, nobody is going to pay for me to make this game. But hey, fair play. They did it, and it's excellent. I spent a lot of time in Japan. My partner's Japanese. So this game may have had more of an impact on me than maybe it does a lot of people. But I think if you can just relate, even just read up a bit about what they are talking about in this game when it comes to, a lot of pressure on women to achieve certain things and to constantly balance certain things, I think it's marvelous, absolutely marvelous. And that is that on Silent Hill F. Take care, like, subscribe, usual stuff that people yabber on about. And I'm gonna go back to do more reviews. Peace, take care.